Simone. She's a very well-known comedian. Recently, B. Simone posted this appearance of hers at a comedy show at the Barclays Center, the same show where T.I. just recently got booed. But anyways, and a lot of the people in the comments were shaming her, body shaming her, talking about her hips, how they're not wide, talking about her belly fat, talking about just her shape overall. And so B. Simone did a really good job at responding to the fans, and she posted a really body positive response to the fans, letting them know like, hey, I know what my body looks like, but I embrace myself. Trust me, I have more than enough money to fix it. Here's her response to the fans.
The amount of negative comments on my body type is insane on my last post. I keep deleting them. And of course I'm not going to respond, but I know what my body looks like. I know my is little. I know I ain't got no hips. I know I got a little belly fat. That is my body. And believe me, I have more than enough money to change it. I embrace myself. If I don't like something about myself, I change it. Just like I got in the gym for a year and I lost 30 pounds. I can't grow hips. It just don't work like that. I can't grow BBL ass. It don't work like that. I'm working with the genetic body that I have, and I love myself. I'm very aware that I am shaped like SpongeBob. I know that. I don't need a reminder.
Things that people were saying, like talking about shapes of bodies, and doctors in the DR make better body shapes, and nobody wants to look like SpongeBob, and blah 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 blah. That's not even the point, because looking like a video vixen, whether you look like a video vixen or SpongeBob, is irrelevant if you're in a casket. It doesn't matter, number one. And number two, the assumption is that everyone wants to look like that, which is wrong, because everybody doesn't want to look like that. And everyone doesn't want to help create that, which is part of why I don't do that kind of work. I'm capable. I choose not to. I focus on natural appearing enhancements. I focus on things that help a person look like their best self, not look like somebody else. And so the women who are attracted to my work want to maintain their essence with surgery. They don't want to turn into a completely different person, which is fine. And the people who want to do that, to each her own, and find a surgeon that is safe, that won't kill you, to help you reach the goals that you want. But to sit on there and call a woman SpongeBob who doesn't have the goal of having a shape that's not her normal one, that's completely inappropriate and unfair, and part of the reason why people are dying. I see people say that all the time. First of all, some of the people that they're saying look like SpongeBob are like normal women. So now a woman's natural form is SpongeBob. The natural form of most women is that of SpongeBob. That's not right. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So now our goal is for every woman to look like an unnatural version of what women tend to look like, because the bodies that people are going to these places, supposedly going to these places so they can get this shape. That's not how anybody comes out. Like, no one is born with and grows naturally into a woman with bodies like that. Every blue moon you'll get somebody whose body is naturally shaped like that, but for the most part, that's not how like 90% of women are shaped. So it's only the argument I'm supposing is that if you're going to spend money on plastic surgery, you should only spend money on plastic surgery that makes you look like somebody else. I argue that if your goal is to look like somebody else, you shouldn't be getting plastic surgery. You should be getting a therapist. Because if you are so unhappy with the way you naturally are, that's a major issue.
This is a big deal for women. And like I said, particularly for women, as women approach late 30s, early to mid 40s, you can argue that women at that point are more established in their careers. They have the money to pay for body modification surgeries. And, arguably, women are trying to hold on to their beauty, their currency. They're trying to hold on to it. And one of the easiest or I shouldn't say easy, but it's a more accessible way of hanging on to this social currency is by way of pursuing plastic surgery. And plastic surgery has become more accessible to the average woman. You really cannot compare a natural body with a modified body. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can, for a natural body, yes, you can go to the gym. Yes, you can eat healthy. But if someone is taking a scalpel or knife or whatever and literally cutting off parts, right? And adding things and the medical industry can do things with a woman's body that quite frankly cannot be done in the gym. And any plastic surgeon, any personal trainer, any nutritionist, if they're honest, they will admit this, right? An example would be Serena Williams, who has an amazing body. Many Black women emulate or want to emulate what she looks like. And Serena Williams also has a very natural body. She also has a very natural waistline. Serena Williams does not look like Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit is a fictitious character. And interestingly enough, I have heard men say that they have had, they used to have a crush on Jessica Rabbit. And there are some women who want to look like her. You could potentially look like a cartoon character by way of surgery. You cannot get that same look in the gym, right? And again, a lot of it depends on, well, what are you already working with? So, meaning do you already kind of have curves and you just need to kind of, make some little alterations? Okay, that can probably be done in the gym. But if you have no curves, right? And if you're the type of person that when you do gain weight, it's not in the quote favorable parts, how are you going to achieve the look? B. Simone, who's a comedian and like a personality, modern day Black woman personality, and how she was body shamed for having a natural body. Also, Latasha Scott from the group Escape. This was actually about a month or so ago on whatever the new show is. I was just watching a little bit of it, and apparently Tamika Scott, her sister, made a comment to Latasha, and she said something like, if you had a butt to kiss. So she was basically trying to, say, whatever Latasha said to her, like kiss my butt or whatever. And Tamika's response was, well, if you had a butt to kiss. And Latasha was like, well, you're body shaming me. And Tamika was like, no, I'm not. It was just a figure of speech, which I think is BS because, come on now. If you had a butt to kiss, I think it's pretty clear what you're articulating. Now, ironically, Latasha has never had surgery. I mean, it was said on the show that she hasn't undergone any surgeries. So it was interesting because Tiny and Candy and Tamika, they've all had surgeries, and they've openly, for the most part, openly talked about their surgeries. So Latasha, being the one who has not had anything done, or at least she hasn't had a BBL, she has a very natural body. She looks amazing. She lost some weight and things like that. But it's interesting because now she's kind of being compared to the women in her group, it's Escape, who have had things done. And it's not a fair comparison. In my opinion, I don't think that, if you have a natural body, and you've never had anything done, I do not think that you can compare that to a woman's body who has had work done. I mean, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Because I promise you all, I will do this segment, and I know I haven't done it in a while, is what content creators never tell you. When it comes to, if you're thinking about making content, if you want to particularly make long form content on YouTube, people will tell you that you need to have a niche and that you need to sort of, have a particular topic or subject that you're focusing on. And just so you all know, when it comes to why I continue to bring up BBLs and body image, is because that essentially is my niche, or it's a big part of it. So it doesn't mean that every video will be about that. But one of the things I realized is that there is a gap in terms of the content online regarding body image in Black women. So, excuse me. So there's tons of videos, and there's Black women who have entire channels about, you know, their BBL and their BBL journey. There's lots of videos about women, I guess, who kind of regret their BBLs, but they don't really regret it. You know, so there's a lot of like what you should do before surgery, and like a lot of kind of like medical videos that give you tips and tricks if you're about to get surgery or the post care. But there's not a lot of videos about the social components of all of this, right? And especially the social components from the lens of someone who hasn't had anything done. You know, I think that there are, I know that there are some videos where women talk about, like, they got their body done or their butt done, and they talk about people hating on them, you know, and so that kind of social component. But again, I think that I want to bring a different perspective as someone who has not had anything done, sort of my lens. Going back to my niche, one of the things I realized is that I am the niche. The niche is beyond, the niche is more so the invisible Black woman. That is really my niche. And essentially, I am the niche. And I'll be talking more about that. But, you know, YouTube is an app. People use it, most people use it as a problem-solving app. So if you have a question such as, you know, how do I, you know, install kitchen floors, or how do I, you know, install kitchen cabinets and that type of thing. If people are typing that in the app, there are also people typing in, why do so many Black women wear wigs and weaves? What is a BBL? And why are so many women, especially Black women, getting this surgery? So if you look at it that way, YouTube solves people's problems, and YouTube answers people's questions. And so if you see a gap and you notice that there are things not being talked about, there's a perspective that you can bring that no one else is either bringing, or they at least are not going to bring it in the way that you would, I would encourage you to start making videos. And I have a business called Curated Legacy, where it is my job to help people like you, if you are interested in making content or writing books, help you get started and help you to also grow. So just keep that in mind, that, you know, YouTube is a problem-solving tool. And a big part of it is, before you can help to answer other people's questions or solve other people's, I guess, problems, is you actually have to solve your own problems and answer your own questions, right? And once you do that, then you can share what you learned. Then you can kind of share possible solutions. So, and even if you're not solving problems or answering questions directly, you could be indirectly building community and providing a place of refuge and a safe space on the internet for people to convene and congregate around topics that they care about, or around things that they're curious about. So that is also a way in which you're still solving a problem. Because if there are people wondering about Brazilian butt lifts, and not so much from the standpoint of they want to get one, but maybe wondering, why do Black women get them? You know, why are women willing to risk it all for surgery? My hope is that someone who is asking those type of questions could potentially run across one of my videos. I appreciate that, you know, you could be anywhere on the internet and you chose to be right here with me. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Naka, and I'm here to make the invisible visible to the modern Black woman. And you'll see at the end some videos which relate to this topic. So if you like this topic, you might also like some of the thumbnails that come up at the end. So feel free to click those. Also click the links in the description box. And as always, stay tuned for more videos. Bye.